So we're heading right into Game 2 now. Summerloud down 0-1, or you could rather say Schneider is up 1-0. But we're heading right into Game 2, and the question is, can Summerloud pull back? He felt... I hate to say this, Summerloud probably felt like he was so sneaky by moving his buildings the way that he did, but then he just got Dark Templar dropped in his base. Rolomir talking about Orion Ground Zero. That's another really fun mod people should try. I'm looking forward to playing on Unfair with Deltrin. All right, we got Frozen Temple starting up here. Got to get all this observer stuff set up. I'm probably gonna... I leave it on production for the most part. I check out income every so often, and workers and units killed. That's generally my bread and butter. Alrighty, what are they picking? Okay, so this looks like Dominion. We've never seen Dominion, so Summerloud playing Dominion. And so we've seen, after this game, we'll have seen all the sub-factions, and then in the upper left, against Covenant. So Schneider playing Covenant against Summerloud, again, Summerloud being the mods creator, so I assume he's pretty knowledgeable about all of these, as Dominion. And again, we've never seen Dominion. I think they differ from Raiders in the sense that their units are more tanky, but they're less mobile. Whereas Raiders, you know, they've got those tanks, right? But you can research Fast Siege, and you have vultures that can run by and drop spider mines and do all sorts of stuff. Excuse me, I have to drink some water while this game is just starting up. Moonkiller, I don't know how many games. I mean, these are going pretty quick. So I plan on probably sticking around for at least a couple hours, which I expect is going to be the length of the whole tournament. I would like to cast the finals, so at least if I'm going to take a break, it might be after this round, and then I'll come back for the semifinals. Because we have to wait for all the other rounds to catch up, including the losers brackets. So let's see what the Dominion can really do. Do they have a defensive thing? Advanced construction enables up to 7 SCVs constructing a building at a time simultaneously. That's pretty cool. You have to research that. Oh, this is neat. So the Dominion, the cannons on top, the planetary fortress isn't always active. That's their defense, is they activate them for 10 seconds, and that costs their energy. So that's their defensive unit. Summerloud pointing out Covenant games that we've seen so far, Covenant getting annihilated, even though me making a fool of myself, I did premise by saying I had no justification in making an objective statement about it, but I was basically saying, I don't know, but it seems like Covenant is good, but we've seen Covenant lose every single time. So we've got these devotees coming out from Schneider, possibly a devotee rush. He's got his anvil out, he needs that if he wants to make those devotees, and Summerloud, though, blocking off his ramp. Summerloud, you better not be stream cheating. If you can hear this, then you're cheating. And units are building slightly rotated again for the Dominion. It's slightly jarring to see that. Also, I assume that, yeah, these planetary fortresses can't be lifted. So if he wants to expand, he's actually got to go down there and make it. We've got just a bunch of barracks coming up. So what do you have here? Just normal Marines. And they're not Raiders, they're Marines. I'm not really sure what the difference is. And here comes this devotee, and I'm curious to know what makes... I mean, they have more health than a normal zealot, that's for sure, and probably slightly more damage. So here he goes. He realizes that this is walled in. He's going to try to start attacking this. We've got a Marine up here. 55 damage. They start with combat shields. Pretty nice, and normal damage. So these are normal Marines, basically, but they start with combat shields. That's pretty cool. They can get stim pack. They can get a range upgrade. Cloning program decreases the build time and cost of Marines and heavy infantry. What are heavy infantry? Looks like Marauders. And you can get normal medics here as well. So let's see what they're... 8 life per 3 energy. These are much better than the field doctors that we've seen from Raiders. So it looks like Dominion is very, very different from Raiders, even though they look similar. It looks like Summerloud wanted to scout out this ramp. Couldn't quite get up there because we've got this blocked off by a devotee. Good work, Schneider. Blocking anything that Summerloud wants to see. Even though it looks like he saw everything he needs to, that's okay. So what was Schneider able to see? Just a couple barracks. Alrighty, so what's coming out here? We have an expansion coming out from Schneider and an Ascendant. And keep in mind, we've seen those Ascendants in action, and those are going to tear. Those are just going to absolutely tear up infantry, in my opinion. We'll see. And yeah, that healing is slow, but it's still better, I think, than the 3 per 1. Devotee trying to get through. We have a Ghost, a fast Ghost coming out from Summerloud. It looks like there's no prereq for those. You could just make those, and they have Snipe. That's very nice. Let's double check to see if he needs to learn that. And again, that Ascendant coming out is probably going to be able to protect him. Yeah, these ghosts do have snipe, but no early cloak. You have to research that. So he's going to come up with this ghost to see what he can get. He could probably snipe a couple workers. If he can snipe that Ascendant, that would be huge. How much does that do? 75 plus 25 plus 75. If he could kill, that would instantly kill that Ascendant. If he could scan up there and get it. Oh, snipe the Ascendant! No. And he realizes now he has to run away. Oh, there's the Psionic Orb. The thing about Psionic Orbs is they're more powerful because they move slower, which means they tick for more damage over time, but they're also more avoidable. That's the big difference. Okay, and Summerloud trying to just push in here. He's going to try to snipe these Ascendants. I don't think Schneider wants to lose these. He cannot afford to lose these. He does have enough energy for one Psionic Orb, but if he lost those Ascendants, that would have been a really big deal. If we would have seen a snipe on one of those, keep in mind, these are light, yeah, so one snipe is an instant kill. More Ascendants coming out from Schneider, along with the Warbot and his engineering department, which allows him to upgrade his Mobius units. Now, for Summerloud across the map, it looks like we have U-238 shells, which increases the range of his Marines. It looks like he's going to be doing a bio composition this time around. And, let's see, these heavy infantry, Punisher grenades, they look just like a semi-nerfed Marauder, I suppose. They also have this slow aiming, which we saw College Dragoons have, so they take a brief moment before they can actually shoot when they come in range of an enemy. It's not an instant shot, which is quite interesting. No factories coming from Summerloud. He's going, looks like he's going to be doing heavy bio ball, and he's going to be pushing out again, maybe going to try to keep the pressure onto Schneider. Schneider having a lot of Ascendants. He's going to have to split these, this small group of units up if he wants to handle this. I think if he makes a few more of those ghosts, really depending on the cost, though, how much are those? 25, 75 gas is a lot. He can't really afford those right now. Doesn't have enough gas. He's trying to saturate the second base. But he's moving out here. And, oh, dear. 4 Ascendants. And they all look like they have enough energy for a Psionic Orb. The big question is, can he avoid the Psionic Orb? Yes, he needs to avoid those. If he can draw out the Psionic Orbs, then he can move in and wipe out these Ascendants. I don't see anything sneaky from Schneider coming across the map, but Summerloud looks like he wants to keep the pressure on. He wants to keep him stuck on 2 bases. If Schneider wants a 3rd base, he's gonna have to go through this, which honestly with these Ascendants doesn't seem like it would be too big of a problem, but I understand it's a bit of a Cold War happening right here. And Summerloud trying to draw out those Psionic Orbs. Schneider does not want to be baited. You can tell he's trying so hard to not be baited. And what is this? A Cerberus? Wow, this seems quite good. So a Cerberus, I'm not sure where he built this from. Okay, so the factories. These seem like Hellions, but better Hellions. And they attack very, very fast. Really, really good harassment units. And it looks like he can use this burn gas, which gave him the ability to move very, very fast. And it disabled him from shooting, but it allowed him to move very fast. He just snuck up that ramp. That was real sneaky by Summerloud. How many workers did he get? Only 2. But I think it kind of freaked Schneider out a little bit. And well, what do I know? Schneider, he might be cool as a cucumber right now, but that was real sneaky by Summerloud. I like that. That's, you know, showcasing a unit we haven't seen before either. So what can you do? Okay, so you can get the pre-igniter, Blue Flame. Fire on the move. That's really cool too, that it can shoot while moving. The issue is these Ascendants. You don't want to mess around with those. You have to be very, very cognizant as you use that, as you go in with those. And it seemed like he tried to move in with that medic, maybe to bait out a Psionic Orb. We have a few of these Cobras that come out from Schneider. Very, very weak. Very similar to Warbots. They can shoot while they're moving. Very, very cheap, weak units, but they're flying. Oh, dear. And here's the Harriers. Harriers, terribly, terribly strong units. And in this case, we don't just have Harriers. We have a large group of robotic units to cover them. And, oh, dear. And Summerloud realizing he has to get out of here. He cannot handle this group. This group is quite powerful. Summerloud, though, what is he building? He's got a few barracks out front. It seems like he wanted to keep the pressure on, but he realizes now he can't go up against this. Now, a lot of people are pointing out how strong Harriers were. The difference is between Harriers, I think, and Vanguards is you can dodge their attack. You may actually be able to dodge Vanguards, too, but the AI obviously isn't going to try to do that. And here's one of these droids that we never got to see, but we're pointing out now is they can heal robotics units, so they're very, very good with those bread and butter Mobius units right now. All right, Schneider, realizing that Summerloud got a little spooked, is going to try to push his advantage. And I think the big key for Summerloud is if he can split his units up a little bit, because the Harrier, oh dear, going to do that. And then there's the Psionic Orb. Summerloud has to run away from those. And we do have a Crucio Siege Tank out. These are the Dominion Siege Tanks. They're more powerful than, I think, the Raider Siege Tanks, but they can't learn that fast siege mode. And Summerloud, I think, realizing he's just gonna have to give this up. He doesn't have siege mode researched, and it's not done for another 30 seconds. Oh no! Oh, and the Psionic Orb the Psionic Orb that was a perfectly placed Psionic Orb that took out, really didn't kill much. Now the second one following up, getting rid of a lot of Dominion Marines. Schneider gonna try to keep this pressure on. He has enough energy for a lot more Psionic Orbs. Summerloud, I think, trying to really just delay until he can get Siege Tech. And Summerloud, unfortunately, right now, getting routed. And unless he can get a lot more units out, he does have a Cerberus out. Those are fairly weak in terms of attack, but they're a little tankier than a normal Hellion. They're probably about the same. But the question is, if he activates his Ibkis cannons, then he might be able to hold out here. Yes, there it is. There's the defense, and let's see if the Dominion can be tenacious enough to hold out here with the Planetary Fortress cannons. He has enough energy for another one. And a Crucio Siege Tank. Schneider shouting for Amon. Indeed, Mobius wanting to do that. Now, behind all of this, Schneider keeping the pressure on not taking a third base. He can't quite afford it. He's trying to reinforce. He's got a lot of Mobius forces and 2 more Harriers coming up. The big question is, can Summerloud hold out against those Harriers? Now, if he gets more of these Siege Tanks out, he does have Siege Mode. He might be able to hold out. He has enough energy for an Ibkis cannon. Ibix cannon. And this, this works for and against Summerloud. He's got a choke point here for tanks, but Psionic Orb was just going to rip through that choke point. So using those Harriers, I think he does not have advanced ballistics, which increases their range by 3, which is just crazy to me. But and here we go. He's got the Ibix cannon. If he can take out just, whoa, dear. He's trying to siege up a tank to move it up to get rid of those Harriers. No hardened shields on those. Those will go down if you focus them down. They're also quite expensive. But getting taken out by those Harriers, and that's the thing about the Dominion. They're slow. It takes them a long time to set up. The issue is, if he can get more siege tanks and just hold, if he can hold on to this, Schneider is not taking a third base, and they're not that even on supply. But if Schneider gets a little careless, then I think Summerloud can hold on to this, and maybe if he moves his tanks up to this ridge, he can hold on to this. At the same time, he doesn't quite know where Schneider's base is and what's happening down here. Summerloud sending some of those servers through to try to take out some of these workers. Oh, this is what he needs to do. He's distracting Schneider, giving himself some time to get set up while he wipes out almost all the workers at the second base. Schneider saying, fuck you, I'm attacking with everything. Oh, dear. Schneider, a huge disadvantage there by Schneider, losing so many workers. But with this amount of Harriers, oh no, Summerloud, he needs to hold on for long enough to be able to pop these Ibix cannons. In fact, I think the second base is going down. Both players essentially losing their second bases. He can pop the Ibix cannon right now if he wants to. Wow, 4 Sonic Orbs going down, annihilating everything up this ramp. Now, I don't know what Summerloud can do to hold on to this right now, unless he can rely on the Ibix cannon, which I don't think he can. He's got Ibix cannon down here, too. He has 1 siege tank down here, if he could siege that up. He has no other units that can really hang on right now. If Summerloud can somehow, and I don't know how, but if he could somehow repel this, they are kind of on even footing because he destroyed all the workers in Schneider's bases. Unfortunately, yep, there goes the GG. Summerloud, he is out. Schneider winning 2-0 in round 2. So Summerloud going down into the losers bracket, Schneider progressing. And that's the interesting thing about HeptaCraft is even though there was such an overwhelming force here, between the Ibix cannon and maybe even 1 or 2 siege tanks set up in the back, Summerloud trying so hard to hang on. And he might have been able to in some other world, but Schneider once again playing very, very well. His tech progression was great. He got that 1 Ascendant out to kind of spook away Summerloud's bio composition, forcing him to progress into mech when he had already invested a lot in getting a lot of barracks. And then pushing across the map when he had enough Harriers. And there we go, Covenant coming back. Amon still holding on strong. Not really strong. I mean, he was very weak. He had lost 2 games. But now, coming back.